Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Ta1k podcast. On this podcast, we spell talk instead with a 1 instead of an L because on this podcast, we always keep it 100. All right, let's get into it today. Very, very special guest with me today, as you can see. My auntie, Keira Burgess, is in the house. How you doing today, Miss Keira?
I'm wonderful. How are you, nephew?
I'm always good. And I'm very especially good today because today is episode 25, milestone episode for today, and you actually get to be on the milestone episode.
Hey.
How you feel about it?
I am so excited. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's see what we're going to do today. Let's talk about some stuff. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to everybody who is watching and everybody who is supporting and everybody that's keeping up with the pod. 25 episodes is crazy. I literally looked at episode 1 on YouTube just to click on it, and it literally said made 6 months ago. I can't believe I've been doing this for 6 months. It don't seem like it's been 6 months. It's only been it feel like it's only been a couple of weeks, but we've been going strong at it, and I thank each and every one of you, you too, and everybody around for watching, engaging, coming on to the show. Shout out to your brother Keith for coming on the show, Indira, Woke Dev, my mom. More people are going to come onto the show in the future, but thank you guys that's already been on already, and thank you to the people that's going to be on the future, and thank you everybody for watching, commenting, and engaging, because that's what we need to grow this podcast. We will be doing big things one of these days. Okay, so into the episode, Auntie and Neff episode. All right. All right, first of all, I want to start doing something new because I want to talk about mental health and a lot of stuff. That's what I talk about in the podcast. Of course, I'm a sports guy, but talk about mental health and all the other stuff. I want to ask you, how are you doing mentally, physically, and emotionally?
It's been a journey, but mental health is very important. So I'm glad you brought me on because I'm a big advocate of mental health. I've dealt with anxiety, still deal with anxiety, and depression, and still grieving my mom. So, yeah.
So we'll jump right into that. It's definitely been a year and about, what are we in October? So a year and about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, for a year, 4 or 5 months since the passing of my grandmother, your mother, Nana Lee, is what we call her, Leonora. And she was a beautiful soul and everything. I can't imagine losing a mother. I'm still have mine to this day. My best friend lost his grandmother when I was in high school, so that hurt, but I haven't physically lost my grandma. So I haven't been on that level yet. But can you tell me what are your thoughts on that, and maybe help somebody out there that's going through the same thing maybe that you're going through?
Just to breathe and feel what you feel. There's no end to grief. There's no expiration date to grief. You just take one day at a time. There are days that are really good for me, and there are days that are really bad, and you'll be surprised what the smallest thing can do to trigger a memory or to trigger sadness. So I would just say, please take a moment to breathe, and it's okay to grieve. It's okay to be sad, and have those days. So take it in one day at a time.
Do you also think it would help out a lot maybe if you distract yourself with things to do?
Yes, definitely be busy. That's one thing that I had to do. I knew 2 things. Once my mom passed, I knew I needed to go to grief counseling. So if you're one that feels like it's not for you, I can say grief therapy and going to grief counseling really saved me the first 6 months. And I'm actually getting ready to go back into grief therapy because you go through different times. Like right now, we're heading into the holidays. Thanksgiving was her absolute favorite holiday. So it's kind of hard for me to enjoy Thanksgiving. So I knew in order to prepare, I needed to go back into therapy. But staying busy, doing things that they love to do, honoring them, is important.
Yes, especially honoring them. Yes, Thanksgiving was my favorite holiday too. That's what we shared together because we love Thanksgiving together. Staying busy and then not being afraid to grieve is the biggest things because it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be mad at the world, but just let it out. Don't dwell on it too much, or don't try to be, I guess, Superman. Oh, I'm okay, because at the end it's not gonna be okay. But yeah. Any more advice that you might have for somebody that like maybe probably struggles with probably coming to acceptance with themselves and saying, oh, like, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna do this, I gotta move on. Is there some advice you can give to be basically just release and not only just be yourself, but like also just, I guess, find yourself within the world so you won't beat yourself up too bad?
I would definitely say making sure that you are around your family. If I didn't have you guys, honestly, I wouldn't have made it. So shout out to my incredible family, because we just grieved together. And I never felt there was a moment where I couldn't be myself or grieve. I never, all the different things that I came up with to honor mom. No one said, you sure you want to do that? Or that's not a good idea. Everybody was like, yep, let's do it. So I honestly say stick with your family. Faith is important. Talk to someone. If you need to talk to someone, it's okay. And it's definitely okay to cry. I've done it many times, and then I find something to laugh about that she did. So, yeah. I'm sure you have some things that you laugh about with Nana.
Oh, all the time. I still got old videos and old photos of us, videos of us singing "Happy Birthday." Somebody's busting out laughing, messing up the lyrics. We don't know. I guess because also her being a grandmother and then being a aunt to people, being everything is, when you sing happy birthday, you have 5 people, happy birthday, dear mama, auntie, nana, grandma. So that was always funny because she'll always start laughing because she knew it was coming. She was like, just wait. So yeah, fond memories. What is probably your best memory that you have with you and your mom?
God, there's so many, but the last few years were hard because she was really sick, but I was able to create memories. So when I moved her down here, it was really important for me to create memories with her. So when she was doing really well, Saturdays we would go out and do something. She would be able to pick where she wanted to go eat. But we've taken trips to Houston. We've taken trips to the zoo in San Antonio. I took her to the Texas State Fair, which she had a blast. They were just throwing stuffed animals at her. Like those were the best memories because they were the last memories. But gosh, growing up with my mom was fun. She was an amazing mother to me and my brother. She just taught me so much. So my work ethic is because of my mom. My sense of humor is because of my mom. My love of family and how I'm like, hey, we need to have a family dinner or we need to do something. That is my mom. So there's just so many.
So many memories. Do you remember a childhood memory maybe?
One time when I was 16, we went to Atlantic City. And she did my hair up. She put like my hair up in a French roll, put makeup on me. She's like, we're just going to sneak you into the casino.
That's crazy work.
It worked. And I won $300.
No way.
And I was 16 playing on them slot machines. And we went for a weekend and had a blast.
Atlantic City, you might need to up the security after this episode right now. Go right now into that casino and go see if anybody is in there that's underage, because that is wild. $300, did mom take it or did you keep it?
Gosh, yeah. Her hand was out so that I wouldn't put it back in the slot machine. But I was 16 years old, and I think we were in a Trump casino. I think it was a Trump casino.
Isn't that ironic?
That's sad.
Yeah, rest in peace to Nana Lee. It's been, I know it's probably been a rocky, rough road going through, especially knowing for Keith. I don't care what dude is out there. I understand sometimes you go through maybe downfalls with your mom or your grandma or whoever it is, but being a man, especially a black man, it's like our ties with our mom and our grandma is second to none. So like, I can only imagine how he feel, and especially both of y'all, how y'all feel, but how he feels as well. But yeah, she was fun and funny and fun, all in one. So you guys actually grew up in the New York area and in Bermuda. You were in what, Bermuda more in the childhood or more in New York?
No, I think I was 10 when we moved back to New York.
Okay.
And then I actually went back probably 3 years. Gosh, I went back when I was 16 and went to Bermuda and finished high school.
Okay.
And then I came back to New York, and then I've been living in the States ever since.
So did you start high school in New York?
I did. So technically, I only did 3 years of high school because in Bermuda, there's no kindergarten. So it's a year ahead. So I did 1.5 years in Queens, New York, and then I moved to Bermuda and did a year and a half in Bermuda and graduated.
All right, so no kindergarten, and you did at least one year experience in New York. Can you tell me the difference between school systems from Bermuda to New York, or actually Bermuda to the United States? Period.
Oh, it's totally different. Bermuda is a small island. I think it's 64,000. So you only have what I think. In my graduating class, it might have been like 38 of us.
Oh, wow.
So it's really, really small. But they don't play in Bermuda about education and about studies. So I'm kind of glad that I went there because I think the smaller the classroom, the more attention I got. And I turned my grades around because I was having too much fun in New York.
I can see that because I had too much fun, and I was in Tennessee, and I still had too much fun there. And I wasn't really paying attention as well. But so the different living situations between Bermuda and the United States, especially New York. I feel like New York is super fast. Like New York is literally the city that never sleeps. So it's like you go like, what is the difference you would say from living in New York and living in Bermuda? Like what's probably the pros and cons?
Bermuda is small, but it's family oriented and it's just beautiful. Like Bermuda is just like, for me now, I appreciate the beauty and the togetherness of the island, which I didn't. I thought Bermuda was boring when I was a child growing up. I just wanted something more exciting. So if I had to compare, Bermuda is much smaller, much more family oriented. You couldn't do much. I mean, when I went back to high school, one day I was like, I don't feel like going to school today. I was halfway there, and then I was like, I'll take the bus home. By the time I got home, my dad had already left a message. So-and-so saw you at the bus stop walking up the hill to the house. You didn't go to school today. So I was like, well, I guess I just need to go to school because it doesn't matter. They're going to figure out whose child I am and tell on me. So New York, for me, growing up, I was 10, so it was a huge culture shock to me. It was so big. It was so busy. It was so fast. But New York is just exciting. I still to this day get excited when I go to New York. There's so much to do. There's so much to see. The culture is unmatched to me.
I feel like the food is amazing.
Oh, the food is amazing. You can find any type of food in New York. Any type of food.
They be talking about that street meat with the white sauce in New York. I'm trying to get that street meat with the white sauce. Hold on. I heard that.
The meat on the stick, the hot dog. You got to get they call them the dirty dogs. You know, you get them off the vendors. The hot dogs, a slice of pizza. Then you got to do like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on a roll. That's like a New York staple. So, yeah. New York is fabulous for food.
Fabulous for food, fabulous for fashion, fabulous for entertainment. I feel like a lot of things happen in New York. It's literally New York, California, and then now really Texas is starting to catch up to the, I guess, not Hollywood scene, but like I guess the tourist spot. Let me say that. Like a lot of tourists would come. It used to be only like you go to Cali or you go to New York if you're from out of the States. But now you travel to Texas or you travel to Florida now.
Even Atlanta too.
Atlanta is Mecca right now. Like especially a lot of people coming out, rappers and professional athletes. One of the best basketball players, Anthony Edwards, is from literally Atlanta, and you can hear it when he talks. Like it is crazy work. Speaking of Atlanta, you lived in Atlanta too for a little while. Speak about that. How was Atlanta?
I love Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for 12 years. Okay. So that's probably the third longest place I lived between New York and Bermuda was Atlanta.
I know New York is fast, but Atlanta can be fast as well. How was the fast life in Atlanta?
When I was there, I wouldn't consider it fast. It was still up and coming.
Okay.
It was slower paced to me. So you had to adjust to Atlanta. When I first moved there, it was like in 2004.
Okay.
And so Atlanta was still up and coming. It was the city that, everybody from New York was moving to Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of New Yorkers. In fact, one of my girlfriends, she just came from like a New York day. And she showed me it was like thousands of people. Like they have this whole thing once a year. Like if you're from New York, you hang out all weekend. It's like a New York day.
What?
Yeah.
That is wild. I never heard. So like basically a New York Freaknik in Atlanta is crazy.
Yeah. There you go.
What would you say the favorite thing about Atlanta was?
That you saw people like us being very successful.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite thing.
I would say for sure that's why I love Atlanta, because the black dollar means so much in Atlanta. Like, and it's so crazy. Like, I didn't really think about it until like really recently with the Young Thug trial. I'm looking at it and I'm looking at all these, from rappers to athletes to actors to actresses, how much they are all connected and how much they said, okay, look, I'm winning right now. I got the most money, but I need you to go in the studio. I need you to stay in the gym. I'm going to give you money, but go. And once y'all make it, let's make money together. And you'll be so shocked, because I was so shocked how much rappers, like how much of they are either brothers or they grew up together. Entertainers, DC Young Fly, when Rich Homie Quan, rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. I didn't know that him and DC Young Fly was like they grew up together. I didn't know that, and so like that's just a small snippet of it. But the black dollar and that means something in Atlanta, and I love Atlanta's culture because like literally they do stick together. If it's not Atlanta shit, we don't want to hear it. Kind of like New York, like if it's not New York shit, we don't want to hear it. And so, like, Atlanta's the same way. If it's not Atlanta shit, we don't want to hear it. I love Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta. I used to go to Atlanta all the time when I was a kid. Both of my uncles been living there since about 2002, 2003. And so, every year, especially in the summertime, I used to take a plane. We could drive, go travel. Man, Atlanta it was always fun to me. I guess because I was younger, it looked fast. It looked big. It looked like a lot of people. So, I thought it was fast life. But I guess it is becoming a more fast life now. But I thought it was so much fast back in the days. So would you say they had good food in Atlanta as well?
Absolutely.
What was the best thing about Atlanta, the food wise?
I would say the Southern cuisine.
Like the
chicken and waffles, fish and grits, shrimp and grits, fried chicken.
Was that the first time you heard about fish and shrimp and grits and stuff like that?
No, because I went to restaurant school, so I knew about that.
Okay. Yeah, restaurant school. Yes. You are a chef.
Yes.
You cook a lot.
Yes.
You make a lot of great food. Everything you've made is great, as far as I know.
Thank you.
What made you get into cooking?
I've been cooking since I was 5. So I always liked baking and cooking. And so my mom, when I was 6, I remember she got me my very first cookbook. And every weekend we would make a recipe in the book. And I just fell in love with cooking. So I've been doing that ever since.
What was your first meal successfully that you cooked?
Probably spaghetti.
Really?
Yeah.
The very first at 5?
Yeah, it was in my cookbook. We made spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What cookbook was this?
It was for little kids, and I would beg her to make something out of the book every week, and she would. And if she didn't, then she sent me down to my aunt's house, who really taught me how to bake. But I mean, it's in my blood on both sides of my family. My Nana, my dad's mom, was an amazing cook. My great aunt, she is well known to this day in Bermuda as far as cooking. She worked at the prestigious hotels down there as a chef. On my mom's side, my grandfather, he was a chef. He owned a restaurant. Grown, so it's just in my blood.
Do you think there's a difference between actually cooking and actually baking?
Yes, it's a huge difference. So cooking, I would say you can be very creative with cooking, right? Okay. You can season, you can do things a little bit different. Baking really is like when I went to pastry art school, they called it formulas. So they didn't call our recipes, they called it formulas. You had to stick to the formula. Uh-huh. Yeah, so baking is something that you have to be disciplined not to go outside of what you think goes in there, because if you miss an ingredient, it totally messes up the product.
So, like, do you think it's harder to bake or is it harder to cook? Probably.
I would say harder to bake because you have to stick to that formula, and then learning technique. So I did both. I did pastry arts first, and then I went back and got my catering degree. So I baking, it was hard. It was hard, and then you have to have a steady hand, learning how to make all those different designs and things like that. So baking was the harder of the two for me.
Baking is hard. Baking out of both, the baking and cooking is harder. I just found that out today. We all learned something new today. You got your catering degree. Did you have your own business with catering, or did you partner up with somebody?
So kind of both. So after I graduated restaurant school, I started doing things on my own, doing some personal catering. When I moved to Atlanta, I had a business partner and we did catering for a couple of years. So I've done both, and I'm starting to dabble back into that because cooking is my therapy. I love being in the kitchen. I love cooking for my family. So yeah.
For sure. And she cooks good and a lot sometimes. I would say for sure the catering business I feel like can be overwhelming. Not just far as trying to make sure that you gotta have enough to feed probably a lot of people, but also dealing with different personality, because people probably don't realize, like, even dealing with catering, yeah, you kind of doing it yourself and you're cooking, but you still have to have customer service. You still have to put the customer first. Sometimes the customer might have a bad day, they just not feeling the food, and you have to still be there like, yes ma'am, yes sir, and so can you, and like that's a part of mental health as well. How do you mentally prepare for people who are out there trying to do culinary art school and probably get a catering degree? What is your mental take on pursuing this dream?
If you're going to go to school, be prepared. It is hard work. And the chefs are brutal. So the instructors are brutal. There were times I wanted to quit. I wanted to cuss them out. Yep. But it made me the chef I am today. And you really can run your own business. But two things that I would say is be careful about working with, doing things with your friends, because a lot of times they try to take advantage of that. Okay. Stick to your guns as far as quality of food. Do your own shopping. I used to have a lot of clients. Oh, well, I can get this chicken on sale, or I can get this and this. No. If you're asking me to make this the way that I make it, you have to give control. So you kind of have to pull that customer back and take it from there, and then have fun with it. Have fun.
Fun is the most important word of the life, of the day, of everything. Having fun is what makes the world goes around, because you need fun in your life. So yeah, going to school, you got the heart chef. Of course, they're gonna be like, what's his name, Gordon Ramsay. Probably tell you straight off. What's funny is I look at shows with Gordon Ramsay. I'm just looking like, man, it's funny to me because I'm not the one there. Like,
that's real deal. That is real deal. So I had believe it or not, you're gonna laugh, but I had this instructor. His name was Chef Shrimp.
Chef Shrimp.
Shrimp. Mm-hmm. And he was awful, but he was like, I see something in you. And he was like, I'm going to be hard on you until you graduate. And I graduated valedictorian of my class, but he drove me crazy. But they really are like that. They will scream at you. What are you doing? What are you doing? There'll be times during exams, if I wasn't doing it right, he would scream, what are you doing? So what you see is not just TV. The chefs are really like that. Chefs are an artist that work with food. Okay. And if you don't put it correctly, they're going to have a fit. And so.
What's probably the craziest thing he ever said to you? Or what's something that probably made you feel like, you know what, fuck this, I'm about to quit right now?
So one time we were doing our finals, and what we had to do was, I was head of the kitchen. So all of my classmates, they were under me. So I had to create a menu, a theme, and do, assignments. And so he kept saying, you need to do something harder. So I did really difficult recipes. but everybody was falling behind. And the rule of thumb is the kitchen cannot get messy. If the kitchen gets messy, you're in trouble. And the kitchen was a total disaster area that night because everybody was just trying to finish the recipes. And he started screaming, and I screamed back.
So like messy as in keeping your composure, or messy as in like an actual mess?
No, an actual mess. Okay. So when you train in restaurant school, it's a word called mise en place. It's French, means everything in place. So you had to keep your area clean while you're cooking. That's part of the training. Okay. So if your area is a disaster area, you get marks, points taken off. And so he screamed. He screamed at me. He screamed at the entire class, and I screamed back.
Well, can what you said to him be said on this pod now? That's crazy. So I guess now we learned something new again. Those chefs are really crazy. Gordon Ramsay is not just doing it for show. He is doing it. That is some real talk. Wow. Have you ever? Speaking of Ramsay, I don't know, probably maybe not Ramsay, but have you ever met some famous chefs out there?
Yeah, but I don't think you guys are known because that was when I was really back in there because I used to do competitions. So I don't. Through my school, we do chef competitions, and I think I've won a bronze medal, a silver medal, and a gold medal. Okay. In cooking competitions, but none of the chefs you would know today.
Name me a few. Let's see.
You wouldn't know them.
Let's name one.
Oh gosh. Let me think about this. Come back to me on that one.
Talking about having a mess in the kitchen. What's crazy about that one is I get that, and that is easily acceptable for pointing or I guess penalizing somebody for having a mess. But what's crazy is for me, it's sometimes when I'm cooking and I have a mess and I'm just like looking around like, damn, maybe if I would have cleaned while I was doing it, I would be better. But it makes me feel better because I feel like I'm getting a lot of stuff done at once. But I guess my question is, what was the explanation told of why you are penalized so harshly about the mess that you leave in the kitchen?
Because you need to make sure that your area is clean and sanitized at all times. So like when you get out into the real world in the restaurants, those inspectors can come at any moment. Mm-hmm. They can come during breakfast, lunch, or dinner service. So you cannot risk having your kitchen be in a disaster area. Okay. Because that's a huge problem. And I forgot, Emerald Lagasse was one that I've met before.
Emerald?
Yes.
I know Emerald.
You know Emerald?
Oh, yeah, see? Yeah. You met him for real?
Yeah, at one of the competitions.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Make sure I don't want to get it wrong. I think I'm thinking about the right guy. I'm just gonna go to the grave with it.
Bam.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I was. Bam. I used to love him. I used to watch him all the time. Yeah. I used to watch him on TV when I was a kid, and then his products used to be in the stores. Yeah. I used to beg Mom to buy them, but not knowing that I wasn't spending the money. She's not gonna pay $18 for some seasonings and some pots. Just because he got his name on it.
Yeah. When I was in restaurant school, he was the chef of the chef, and he was like owning Food Network at that time.
Oh no, he was on everything.
Yeah, my mom and I think at that time we were living in New York together. And was like, I need to be home by 8:00 every night because he was coming on.
Oh wow! And he used to make food. The way he made it, it seemed like it was so effortless. Like he just easily do like this. Like he wasn't afraid to make a mistake. And if he did make a mistake, you didn't know he made a mistake. And so like that was, I looked up to Emerald a little bit when I was growing up. That's why I like to cook too. I used to do a little bam, little thank you ma'am, put it in the food. We had some seasonings here and there. I loved it. So where's your culinary school located?
So when I went to pastry arts school, that was in New York in Manhattan. Okay. When I did my pastry arts, and then when I did my catering degree, it was in Long Island, New York.
So majority of your things were in New York.
Oh yeah, all of my culinary training was in New York.
Catering as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's see. So as you, like you said, you was born in New York, lived in Bermuda. So that means you traveled a lot as a kid. Can you explain? I've traveled a lot as a kid as well. Like I said, I went to Atlanta and South Carolina a lot of times. Been to Florida. I traveled a lot as a kid, but can you explain your experience with traveling as a kid? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you traveled a lot as a kid.
We did. So growing up in Bermuda, we always did summer vacations. So I think some of the memorable ones that I remember was Disney World. We went to California. We went to Mexico, New York, of course, to see my grandmother. But yeah, we went. I've been traveling since I think she said I was 6 weeks old. The first flight I was on.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Well, you live on an island. You got to get off.
Yeah, it is true. So I guess with being from Bermuda, which is not United States, but also because Natalie, your mom was from New York, and your dad from Bermuda. Since they both, one was in the United States and one was outside. Like, do you still have to have a passport for like those two countries, or was it like you kind of had dual citizenship with both of them?
I have dual citizenship, so at any time, if I feel like America's not for me, I have Bermudian status, and I can go back to Bermuda and work and live there.
And just be a citizen.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. It's crazy. And I know for a fact you got your passport because you travel a lot. Let me tell you something. This lady travels probably every other. I think. Where are you going this weekend? And the next weekend, not this weekend. Or are you gonna go next weekend? Probably.
Nowhere for the rest of this month, but November I'm going to Denver.
Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
Let's talk about that one for a minute. Yeah. I stayed in Colorado and you stayed in Colorado, but you stayed in Denver. I stayed in Colorado Springs. You stayed in Denver for a while. How long was you in Denver?
2 years.
2 years. How was that experience?
Denver, Colorado is one of the most beautiful states ever. If you've never been to Colorado, go to Colorado. It's absolutely beautiful. For me, you're gonna laugh, but that's where you smell weed every day, all day, in the air. When my first apartment, there was someone that lived beneath me, and I had a patio in my bedroom, and there really isn't a lot of air-conditioned apartments in Colorado because of the weather. And so it was like clockwork. At 11 o'clock, I could smell the weed coming up. I was like, he's outside smoking his weed. But yeah, I love Colorado.
Colorado to me was probably one of the best places I've ever stayed. Like, literally, I think what was so cool because we lived in basically a duplex, but we had like it was a three-story duplex, but from my kids' room, not even my room, from my kids' room, you see the mountains if you open up their window. And, like, that was a beautiful view. If you like hiking, if you like outside adventures, Colorado was the place for you. Of course, if you like weed, Colorado was the place for you. I was not big on the food in Colorado.
I can agree with you there. That was a disappointment because I'm a foodie. So wherever I live, the food has to be hidden. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of food in Colorado. And
I think I was more shocked about the food because y'all smoke weed. Like,
I guess it didn't matter. Everything tastes good.
Like, yeah, you know what? I guess so. I guess if everybody's just all high and everything, it don't matter what the food tastes like. It's all gonna be good at the end. What was your probably like your, because you lived in New York, but and it's snow. But I feel like Colorado is a little bit like kind of, it's the same but different.
No, because Colorado, okay, first of all, let me just warn you, there's 9 months of winter in Colorado. So it can snow up until June, and then it can start snowing again by September. And so I moved there in April, and 4 days into it, there was like 12 inches of snow on the ground. Yeah. And then next month, it was Mother's Day, and there was snow on the ground. I'm like, this is crazy. But with Colorado, the temperatures fluctuate so much that the next day the snow's gone. So, I mean, if you are one that likes snow but doesn't like it on the ground, Colorado is for you. However, New York is different. When it snows in New York, it stays on the ground. Like it stays a lot colder, more consistently in New York.
Yeah, when I was in, that's why I miss Colorado so much. Especially being here in Texas. Texas, it get hot. And so, but not only does it get hot, like you talking about now, it's getting closer to 8 p.m. and we're getting into the fall in Texas, so it's not really as hot. But the humidity is crazy, and like it'd be 90, 100. I mean, I'm from Tennessee, so I was used to it. but it's still crazy. When I lived in Colorado, it'll be 101 degrees on a maybe August day, July day, 101 degrees, and then by 7, 8 o'clock, we looking outside, it's 65 degrees outside.
Absolutely.
I miss that weather. Like, to know that it's gonna, like, I don't have to turn on I don't have to turn on the AC because most of us is gone from the house.
Right.
And so we can just leave the AC off. And when we get back, open up the windows, maybe crank the AC on for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it felt like it's cold in the house. I miss Colorado because of that. And because of the houses that they had there where you had mostly basements. And all the basements that we had was basically my man cave. And I miss it. I have to come upstairs for my man cave. I don't like it like a basement. Basement, I can get chill, play music loud all I want to. Nobody hears me. If I play music loud up here, the whole house is going to be shaking.
They're going to tell you to turn it down.
So that's why I miss Colorado. Out of all the places you have been to, is there any more places you've been to?
So I lived in Jersey for a little bit, and then I lived in North Carolina.
North Carolina? How was that?
It was cool. I was in Charlotte for about a year.
Did you like it?
Yeah. I feel I need to go back to Charlotte. When I was there, downtown Charlotte looked almost like a mini New York.
Oh.
So I have to see what happened. But they were building. It was one of those cities again, because by that time Atlanta is full of people. So Charlotte was the next city down south where you can come and get more for your money. You know, because everybody asked me would I live in New York again. I was like, I cannot afford to live in New York.
No.
It's expensive.
It is very expensive in New York. I saw somebody on Instagram or TikTok. Can't remember which one, but Instagram and TikTok, it was like they got a 1-bedroom apartment where it's kind of like the space of this for like $3,000. Like, dude.
And you just turn around and I can't do it.
No, that was mad wild. But out of all the places that you've been to and all the places that you have lived at, what would you say probably is the best one?
Colorado, actually, I really liked it.
Colorado's the best one at home?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Colorado for sure is the best one out of all of them. Okay. Mental health is very strong. Mental health is something that I try to talk about at least occasionally. Not all the time, but occasionally, because you want to make sure everybody's okay. Mental health has, believe it or not, killed a lot of people, has hurt a lot of people. You'll be kind of surprised of the amount of people that are hospitalized now for mental health, any type of mental health, a broken heart, anything. And so what advice can you give to people that's probably struggling with mental health now?
You're not alone. I think when I was really struggling with it, depression will make you feel like no one else understands or no one else can feel like you do. So it kind of isolates you. But what I would say is you're not alone. There is help there. There is someone that you can talk to. Therapy is extremely important. If you feel like you can't talk to someone in your family, please go to therapy. Therapy saved me, literally. Saved me.
Saved a lot of people, because I ain't gonna say it saved me, but it helped me a lot just to be able to say that basically speak, especially because I love talking to therapists, especially new therapists, because it's like I get to speak and talk, and you have your opinion about me and my situation, and you don't know me at all, so you can give 100%. Like, all right, from what you told me, this is what I think, and I love that type of like therapy sessions, because it actually helps, it actually helps you kind of probably let it out and you feel better.
Absolutely. You sort out your feelings
Yes.
in therapy, right?
Yeah.
So your therapist has no judgment on you. They just show you a different way to look at things and to sort out your feelings to get to the other side. So therapy has been a lifesaver for me. And like I said, I'm getting ready to go back into therapy. So never be afraid, to seek help. And sometimes you need medicine. Sometimes it's a little bit more help, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's the stigma and shame. And I'm a Christian. I go to church. I go to church. But, God created doctors.
Yes.
Okay? So Jesus does fix it all, but he gives us human beings here that can help us. So please don't feel ashamed If you're feeling low or lonely, get the help. It's okay.
For sure, get the help, and like you said, it's okay to feel some type of way, to feel hurt, to feel depressed, to feel it's okay, and nobody's gonna judge you. If anybody judges you, that was never for you in the beginning. One thing that I always try to say, especially to Risha, my wife, a lot is God put you through things that only He knows that you can get through. So don't question why. Just question, all right, what's next? And like, cause we don't know what's next. Like, hey, what's next? Let's get it going. Instead of questioning, well, why me? Why this? Why that? Because it's easy to do that, especially with us. Our son is nonverbal autistic. It's a struggle sometimes dealing with him. Communication with him is a struggle. Just hearing the word autistic, a lot of people take it different ways. And so I definitely have that experience, and I definitely say, like, it's okay. Go get the help if you need the help. Because we're not alone. You're not alone. Nobody's alone. Like, just go get the help. Now, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to, especially for a man, you don't want to seem weak. You don't want to seem, I know what I know already and need to know. We don't know everything. And so it's always good to go get that confirmation from somebody else that you don't know everything and that you actually probably do need a little bit of help. Because everybody needs a little bit of help, at least a little bit.
Absolutely. Shoot. Last year was a year, right? But I feel like everything that we went through last year brought us closer together and bonded us together. And so now, through all of that pain and hurt and grief we went through last year, we birthed, a bond that is unbreakable. Yeah. And we do experiences together as a family. Like, our Saturday, I look forward to the weekends. I look forward to you grilling my burnt hot dogs and, and us just being silly and loving on one another. That's just so important. It's just so important.
It's very important. And I love the time that we have spent together and that we have grown together. And that's another thing. If you, even if you don't have, I guess, blood family, go search for some friends that become family. Or go search just for maybe some coworkers that become family. Like, search for somebody that can become your family, because that's something that you need, somebody to fall back on, something to fall back on, and all of the above. Any last words for mental health and anything that you have that might help out maybe a young person, maybe somebody who's 16, because I've never really, to be honest, I never thought about it until I'm older now. But like, a lot of kids are going through a lot of more depression and a lot of more like mental health problems. Any advice that we can give them and give them early, that we can help them grow up and still be here? Because I want to see the young kids still be alive and not OD or take themselves out because of mental health.
What I would say to us as adults, though, is we need to be patient with them, right? Okay. One thing that I try to do is be open. Like, my goddaughter, she's 19 now, but she's told me things that, only she and I talk about. And so keep the communication open. Please try not to judge your children, or berate them or scream at them and yell at them, because we thought it was hard. I mean, even in my generation, thinking it was hard growing up. There's so much access to things that they can see. There's so much pressure. We don't have to, we did fire drills, not shooting drills, right? Yes. So it's totally different. So what I would say is for us as parents and the older ones to be patient with them, to make sure that you leave the door open so that they can always feel comfortable in talking to you. For a young person, it's a lot, but try to listen to your parents and those that come before you, because we actually have lived it and we can guide you, and know that sometimes that tough love is because they don't want you to stumble and make the same mistakes. Yeah.
And I say that because me being at one point the young person, I used to be kind of, I guess, dumbfounded to the topic of like excuse me, that dumbfounded to that topic of like, oh, like, yeah, you lived it, but like, let me experience it my way. Let me do this, like. And it's not that I feel like, it's not like I'm trying to act like being young and I know everything. No, it's just like I feel like I used to always say, like, well, let me do it my way. I think I can do it. Like, So for kids, it's not that we feel like we know everything and we need to try to tell y'all what to do. It's just like I look at it more now differently as it's guidance. We just trying to say, look, this is how this is going to happen like this. Now you can do it your way, but I'm letting you know right now that might not work. Now if it does, applaud. And I think the generations are changing to where we are now saying, hey, if it don't work for you, I'm telling you to do this. If it don't work or if you don't want to do it, it's fine. Versus when we was growing up versus you need to do it or you just don't listen at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to do it. If you don't do it, then you just a disobedient kid. Like, no, I just want to figure it out. Like, can I have a chance first? And so, like, yeah, growing up, yeah, we have to be patient. Everybody has to be patient. And because patience runs a lot. And patience kind of running thin now for a lot of people, a lot of things. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for speaking a little bit about mental health because it's very important, like we said earlier. It is very something that can easily take some people out, that has taken people out, that has hospitalized people. I personally know a couple of people that's been suffering from mental health, and of those people, maybe 2 of them passed away. And so, like, it's sad because looking at it, like, they're my age. And, like, I'm just like, yo, I have 2 kids, and I have a family I'm taking care of. And, yes, I am mentally drained a lot of times. I'm mentally struggling. But it's like, we're going to get through it together. Absolutely. And so, yeah, appreciate that, Auntie. You got the preaching jeans on today. All right. We got a couple more minutes before we get up out of here. First, we're going to play a game, okay? Okay, let me see. Can I can't see. I can't. Let's see. We're going to make sure we can't. All right. What I like to call this game is called the age game. The age game is basically I take your birthday, specifically your birth year. But for sure, it's going to be some questions on your birthday, but mostly your birth year.
You know my birth year?
Yeah. Can I say it out loud or no? So his birthday for Miss Keira Burgess is March 15th, 1975.
That's correct.
All right. So we're going to ask some questions about those. I know for a fact that you're probably not going to know all the answers, but you probably could be the first one out of all the people that can probably guess a one right. Long as you get one right, I feel like that's an accomplishment. Just get one right. All right. All right. So question number 1. The day you was born, what was the number 1 song across the America that time?
I have no clue on that at all. None.
Can you name me an artist?
What, Elton John?
I ain't gonna say you're close, but you're close. Not really, but.
Not really. I have no idea.
Number 1 song in 1975 on your birthday was Black Water by the Doobie Brothers.
Okay.
I
love the Doobie Brothers.
Love the Doobie Brothers. What a fool believe. All right. Question number 2. In 1975, this famous movie won 6 total Oscars, including Best Film. What was the movie?
I think I'm going to be old for whatever this is. I have no idea. Give me a hint.
You watched the episode with me and my mom, right? Right? No? I'm saying, I'm asking, you watched the episode with me and my mom?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I will say.
Oh, yes, I did, but that was
a long time ago. Yeah.
I don't know, The Godfather, I don't know.
Say it again?
The Godfather?
Yes, but The Godfather 2. Hey, it was good. Hey, I give you that one. Godfather 2. Hey, look, first one correct so far. The age game. Congratulations. All right. Question number 3. In 1975, this food item was introduced to the world. I feel like it's easy. It's a food item. A hint. You serve it in the morning.
What, sizzling? I don't know.
What's sizzling?
Oh, you haven't had sizzling in your life?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh God. I'm aging myself. I don't know. What is it? Eggos? I don't know.
Eggos is crazy. Now, the food item would be a breakfast burrito.
Oh, I would never get that because I don't eat breakfast burritos.
You don't like breakfast burrito? Why not? You don't eat eggs?
I do eat eggs.
That's the only reason I hate breakfast burrito, because I don't eat eggs.
You're strange anyway. Not liking seafood.
Seafood is nasty. Eggs is nasty. All of it. Okay. Question number 4. You can probably get a nice guess. I feel like you will get a nice guess on this one. In 1975, this famous beloved artist won Best Album of the Year at the Grammys. I mean, you have a strong case to get this, because I know you listen to this type of music.
What, Stevie Wonder?
That's 2, guys. That's 2. Yo, first one with 2. Nobody's topping the 2. I'm telling you now, nobody's topping the 2. Yes, Stevie Wonder, Album of the Year, 1975 at the Grammys.
What was the album?
You know what? I didn't write that down. I should have.
Is it like Sir Duke? Because that's like my favorite Stevie Wonder album.
I will fact check that in a minute and see about that.
Okay.
All right, last question. This source of technology was invented in the year 1975. Technology.
What, the fax machine?
No, but no, I ain't gonna say close. Kind of a no. For that time, it was close, but no.
The only other thing I'm thinking of is the internet, but I know that's too early for that.
That's close.
Oh, the internet is close.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
No clue.
The microcomputer.
Oh yeah, I never. I should have known that because I think we got a computer when I was like 7 or 8. It's a huge computer.
Huge.
Yeah, they were huge. Yes, I should have known that.
Thank you, Miss Keira Burgess, for playing the age game. That was fun, and you got 2 right. Yay! Hey, that's Mama, Keith. No, Keith didn't do it. Mama, Dira. Who else did it? Who else did the age game? I feel like somebody else did. No, Risha didn't do one yet, but she's doing one on the next one. Y'all failed the age game. But yeah, that was cool. All right. I know for a fact you are not a sports person. I know you got out of the sports. The Knicks have broke your heart so many times that you don't want to talk about sports probably to this day. Hey, actually, the Knicks got Karl-Anthony Towns from the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's a center, a superstar center. You guys are looking like y'all can be maybe in the finals this upcoming year. So I would say definitely probably pay attention to basketball this year. Okay. Pay attention to the Knicks. Don't get too involved. I don't want you going crazy on me, okay? We don't.
The Celtics don't win. We're good.
But we just did. The Celtics just won. Finally, but hey, we still won. What?
How many championships have the Knicks won? That's what you say every time. So.
Hey, but until then, we can't use that excuse right now. Okay. So we're gonna call a couple of college games and we're gonna call a couple of professional games. Okay. Oops. For the college game. Oops, that's left. For the college games, okay, we have Texas playing Oklahoma. It's going to be in Dallas. That's going to be basically the State Fair game.
Yeah, the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, there you go. You know a little bit. Who do you got winning this game? Texas or Oklahoma?
Texas.
Mm-hmm. By how many points?
7.
7? Yeah, I got Texas winning this game too. Quinn Ewers is back. I think Texas takes this game. Another nice little rivalry game that's going to happen. Tennessee versus Florida. Tennessee is going to be at home to Florida. Tennessee is 4-1. They're number 8 in the country. Who do you have between Tennessee and Florida?
I'll go with Tennessee.
Because we're from Tennessee?
I'll give y'all that.
Yeah, I think Florida has been on a downfall for some years now, and Tennessee is just too good right now. They got the one loss was it last week? No, Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. I forgot who Tennessee lost to. But Arkansas, that's who it was last week. But I feel like they're going to bounce back, and I think they're going to beat Florida. One game that I'm definitely going to be watching, Ohio State versus Oregon. In Oregon, both teams are 5-0. Ohio State is number 2. Oregon is number 3. Who do you have taking this game?
I'll stick with you. Oregon is your team.
Yep.
So I'll go with Oregon.
Oregon, I hope pulls it out. We're 5-0, but I feel like we've been struggling a little bit this year. So this is a good opportunity for us to prove that we are one of the top teams in the country, and I think we pull out this game, especially it being in Oregon. Last college game we're going to talk about is going to be your guy, Coach Prime. Colorado Buffaloes play the Kansas State Wildcats in Colorado, both for 4-1. Who do you have in this game?
I'm going to go against Colorado and pick Kansas.
You are going against Colorado and picking Kansas State?
Yeah.
That's crazy work. Prom, I thought I had you a fan, but never mind now. Prom, we got to get up out of here. I got Colorado winning this game. Yes, that's a little biased. I think Colorado at home kind of helps them win this game. And so that's going to be a good game to watch, though. That's going to start late because, Colorado time. That's going to start around 9:15. The Oregon game starts at 6:30, so I got plenty of time to watch both games. It's going to be a fun Saturday night. Those are our college games that we have called for today. All right, next is NFL. Let's start with the game that's going to be across the ocean in London. Jacksonville play. Hey, what's up, XJ? What you want more? Go ask mommy. I'll get you after this, okay? Okay. The game happening in London, Jacksonville Jaguars versus Chicago Bears. Who do you take next?
I have no idea. I think I will go with Jacksonville, probably. Yes.
Jacksonville just won a game versus the Colts. They are kind of on a roll right now. Chicago is iffy. I will go Jacksonville as well. Okay, let's get one you might know. Indianapolis plays Tennessee. In Tennessee.
I'm going to go for the Titans.
You going for the Titans? For the first time?
That is not
First time ever, you go for the Titans. Let's go with the place that you stayed at. We got Los Angeles Chargers versus Denver Broncos. In Denver, who do you have?
I'm going to pick Denver because they play better at home.
They do play better at home.
Yeah, so I will pick Denver on that one.
I don't know about you, but when I was living in Colorado and I worked at King Soopers, I didn't like Colorado. I didn't like Denver. I didn't like the Broncos, but to get a free donut or a free cookie, I needed them to win.
All those restaurants had something free if they won.
Yes.
Yeah.
Free dessert, free anything.
They're serious about. I can say they're loyal to that team in Denver. It's something I haven't seen.
Not only to that team, loyal to football.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Colorado, like people don't talk about it because we talk about Texas being so big in football, Florida, California, but dude, Colorado is probably up there in one of the top states that is actually serious about football and they produce athletes. So I will say I got the Broncos as well in that game. Your Sunday night and your Monday night game, both are going to be in New York. Cincinnati Bengals play New York Giants on Sunday night. Who do you got with that one?
I gotta go with the Giants.
Go with the Giants?
Although I know they're probably not gonna. I think the Bengals are having a good season as I'm halfway paying attention. They're doing pretty well, right?
Who?
Cincinnati, are they doing pretty well?
Actually, no, they're doing very bad this year.
Doing very bad?
They're 1-4.
Oh. Well, I'm still going with the Giants anyway.
Giants in that game. I would take this New York Giants team over Cincinnati.
Okay.
But on Monday, Buffalo Bills played New York Jets. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. But who would you have?
I would agree with that.
Well, that's 3 New York teams because Buffalo's in New York too.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm going to go with Buffalo. Buffalo.
Buffalo? I'm going to go with Buffalo. All righty. All right, so you heard it here first. She got Well, I guess it didn't matter with the Buffalo and New York Jets team because they both in New York. So yeah, but yeah, she got the Giants over the Bengals. That's gonna be a good thing, a good match, a good game. Can get it out.
Baseball too?
Yes, Yankees just beat the Kansas City Royals last night. We are advancing to the I think it's the ALCS, and so yeah.
A lot of people are hoping for a Subway Series. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. That would be crazy for the World Series.
Yeah, it'll be great for New York.
Very great. So I guess you're gonna go for the Yankees as well, or Yankees or Mets?
Oh God, don't ask that question. If I was my father's child, it'll be Yankees. If I'm my grandmother's child, it'll be the Mets. So you're not supposed to do that in New York. So you have to pick one. Yes, I understand, but
if you have to pick one, money on the line, who are you picking?
I would have to say I enjoyed the Yankee games.
Yankees.
Mm-hmm. But that's what cool too.
She picked wisely, everybody. The Yankees. Yeah. So we got. Hopefully that would be cool to have that. We got that, and then we got our bet going on for next year, and a lovely cricket game.
Yes.
You want to explain that one?
Oh, Cup Match is the biggest holiday in Bermuda. It's a 2-day cricket game, and it's a rivalry between Somerset and St. George's. And I am a Somerset girl. We are a Somerset family, but my nephew has decided to go on the other side, the losing side. And we've had the cup for over 10 years now. But he thinks next year St. George's is going to take it, but that's not going to happen.
Yo, you know what? This is going to be the underdog story, okay? St. George's is going to St. George's is going to overcome its 10-year drought. Is that your phone? It's going to overcome its 10-year drought, and it's going to win the cup next year. Look, you see, it's time for us to go. It's time for us to go. Hold on. Make sure I got nothing else. No. All right. That alarm was telling us it's time to go. We've been here for too long, okay? Yeah, so St. George's is going to come to the cup next year and take it all. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to get my $100.
And then, yeah, $100 is on the line. Anybody want to do another bet, side bet? All my people from Bermuda that's watching, I need y'all to tune in. Tell me what's going on. Y'all want to make a bet too? Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you guys so much for watching Talk on the Podcast. Thank you, Keira. Thank you for being a guest on the show. Finally coming on the show and sharing your wisdom, sharing your story, sharing your memories with us. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. We highly appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you again in future episodes. But until then, thank you guys for watching again. Anything you would like to say before we head out?
Love on one another. Life is really short.
Very short. Till next time, thank you guys so much. See y'all later.